The late IHP show with your lovely 5D Mystic Enlightenment Functional Adult. Hello, it's Maria. Woo-woo, subtle science lady here, but somatic informed, trauma informed, and supporting people to be their self, their 3-year-old whole heart. And so that means when you have a good relationship with your emotional plane, the body of you, and the mind of you. And on that note, before we begin, I found this really great content creator. She is, I don't know what she does online, but she shared this video recently giving people who have PTSD or CPTSD, so childhood post-traumatic stress disorder or post-traumatic stress disorder, 3 tips or 3 important ways to work to get out of your PTSD and CPTSD. And she doesn't like labels, and I totally was like, rock on, because all adults don't like labels, but we use words so that we can explain concepts. And today we're also going to talk about polyamory in a monoamorous, mononormative world, and we're also going to do some of this. Okay, so we have our 11/11 portal coming up, really awesome. And on that note, 4D Mystics, they've decided for now to be in that bandwidth. Let's leave that to the side for the minute, for the time being. She shares EMDR is helpful because it helps you to find where there are the stuck parts, the parts that are not integrated, and so where you're looping. But it's not EMDR alone. It's with the child parts. So you do the parts work, which is where even Patrick Tiahannas talk about that. And all of the therapists that I talk to and that I learn from have mentioned that. So reintegrating the parts. But see, because 80% of those sensations are stored by the body, somatics, number 3, is important. That way you can work with the nervous system. So you're integrating the part and also allowing your body, your nervous system, because your brain's an embodied brain, to completely move into your restorative embodied self. And in fact, she says, I don't prefer the word healing. So when you meet an adult, an emotional adult, it's a person who takes ownership of the self that they are. They usually will use their name. They can be a mystic or a functional adult or both. And what it is there's an ability for them to spell out, buzzwords. Don't do them much. They use, in fact, that prefrontal cortex. And they're a 3-year-old with a whole heart because those first 3 years are all implicit memory. That's why I use the 3-year-old mark, not because of anything specific, but again, how you feel is important. And so people who don't recognize that they can choose to reclaim themselves, they're choosing to ignore the I hurt people and I hurt myself. That's through compulsive activity, drugs, alcohol, sex, food, procrastination, continuing to feel low on energy, continuing to have very sporadic up and downs, and just stuff that isn't going effectively well. So some people I've met, they're smart, meaning stable, mature, they're smart, meaning they have education besides the stable, mature, adaptive, rational, teachable. Those people are already in the therapist rooms if they realize, and they know enough, like this lady, to do their research. Why? Because it's a person who will have their inner well-being in the forefront, and they're well enough here to know I get to do some research, and then I get to go and present, and then I get to base it on how I'm feeling. So they're taking their inner well-being to heart. Other people, they don't take their inner well-being to heart. They allow themselves to be told by others. This is not better or worse, it's different though. So that 3-year-old wants a person to tell them what to do and how to do it, and they might end up well, they might not. It all depends on if they got into the right room. So on that note, the power of community definitely to lead you to the right places. But if they are ignorant and they are not people who have secure attachment and intellectually speaking move beyond the limited consciousness about people's patterns, they will not help you to reclaim yourself. Okay, so we're done with our lovely, thank you so much, lady. But if you're curious about her video, let me know. I forget her name, but I gladly will share it. So every person has a 3-year-old that can be reclaimed. And that means to work with yourself. So either you already have good emotional relationship, or, like I said, she was very helpful, EMDR, working with child parts, having somatics so that you can integrate it all and get out of what is spiritual narcolepsy. 4D is still in spiritual narcolepsy because they have an adaptive child ruling them. They've not made their decision to move out of their teenage land and into their adult land. And so they actually continue to relive their stories. They don't get out of that part. Okay, so it's a balancing act. Once you begin to learn to harness your mind, your brain, and your relationships, it's because you choose to harness your heart. You choose to look at yourself. You choose to also get out of stagnation. And you also are very good at being a person who says to people no based on your emotions, not based on what you are projecting. No, it's based on I'm going to do what I need to do to get myself to where I want to be and get out of the shadows. Treasures hidden in the shadows. You don't have to go through suffering, but some people definitely, they work through some aspects that come up, and that's how they get in touch with that right mode of your brain, the divine feminine. So yourself is the divine feminine, your 3-year-old. It's all about those sensations from the body. So as you regain your wholeness and get out of the protective false sense of self, and you get curious about your 3-year-old and you begin to navigate, this is where my mystics, I know you all have gotten your clairs, you're ready to rock and roll in, you're getting to do your own stuff with the beginner's mind. So you've gotten rid of all of those stories where you have to have a twin flame or a divine counterpart. You know that your bonds are special. For my polyamory community, we get to teach people about how love is for all, and it's us in our ventral vagal nervous system, and that our bonds, they don't have to begin or end, that we get to talk to people. Polyamory can be with monoamorous individuals. It's all a conversation for the grown-ups. The universe is our partner. Integrated people are each other's partners. As the lady was saying, it's important to meet people who are integrated. And that's because unconditional love and compassion is what we provide each other. So even if we have reactions, we don't react by shaming, blaming, faulting, or in any way, shape, or form doing revenge. We have conversations. We know how to talk, and how to talk in ways that are fun and move into the adventure of being flow. I look like a yellow little, that light. Okay, so flowing to the depths of your emotions, you get to learn how to not be overwhelmed by them. So you learn how to master window of welcome with yourself, and you expand and you integrate and you move into that forgiveness. So you're able to have those repairing conversations. They're very beautiful. They're very important. And you get to continue with the fates to build your future. But you're the one who's building it, not the universe in a way of having some supernatural. You've just learned how to sit with your brain, mind, sight, mindfulness. You do yoga, maybe dance, maybe not. You don't have to do any of those things, but you are part of this future. So it's 2023, and we know that whether polyamorous or monoamorous, we can use our words correctly and make choices together. And the consequences are expansion of consciousness. Humanity's moving in a beautiful direction, and that is by being informed on all aspects that involve the body, the mind, the brain, this embodied somatic experience, and with good therapists that is being made possible. Of course, spirituality also comes along and all of the spiritual stuff. So we get to bring the human elements, spirituality together tune on in for more, and I hope you have a great day.